wanted to talk about Redditors. I've been making fun of Redditors for a long time, but today I thought about them again, and every once in a while re-download the app to look at fan base reactions to terrible losses. Like last night, I re-downloaded it to see all not Hurricanes, all the Dolphins fans reacting to going 0-3. But then all the recommendations for the other subreddits, and I get like me IRL or sips tea or mildly infuriating. Like mildly infuriating, it's like 80,000 upvotes, and it's like a guy dropped like a jar of like hot sauce outside the grocery store, so he has to go in and buy another one. It's like, dude, whatever, just go do it. Or just go home and just be, all right, I didn't get the hot sauce this time. Like there's nothing, like, it's not mildly infuriating. My toddler accidentally threw away, all of our spoons. Like, what am I gonna do with this information? Oh my God, my 5-year-old son used crayon on the bathroom wall. Why do we even care? Just normal shit, So that's one of those things, and it's a bunch of most of Reddit is millennials, just millennials with low IQ, I guess. And it's people whenever there's something on the internet, older people always immediately think it's like 13-year-olds and 10-year-olds and stuff, but it's not. This is people in their 30s. These are people with husbands and wives and jobs and careers and families and homes and memories. And so it's like 35, 36-year-old women on there, and men commenting Office gifs, Michael Scott gifs, and Jim and Pam gifs, and Creed, the guy who works at the Office, not the band, in the show. Creed Bratton, I think was his name. But they think all that shit's funny. Parks and Recreation's another thing as well. Everything's a joke to them. Anytime you want to have any kind of serious discussion, when all the times I've been on Reddit to talk about like sports and to see the reaction from a game, to maybe join in a conversation or discussion about someone's future as a head coach, or talk about something that happened at the end of the game, and kind of what program or team, what direction they're going into. Whenever I want to have a conversation like that with somebody, you can't. It's all people farming the upvotes because they have egos and they need the dopamine hit from the upvotes. So it's like post game, Georgia beats Tennessee, or the New England Patriots beat the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl, something like that. And then all the comments are just joke, or like reference to TV show, italicized words. And I'm like, can we talk about what happened in the game? Like what's the point of us just talking about jokes and using idioms and just idiotic stuff? Maybe you could have a few of those sprinkled in there. I'm fine with that. Okay? Like, stupid. It's every single time. It's every time. It's every time there. And no one cares. And the sports stuff isn't as bad as but when you start venturing out into the other subreddits where it's like, am I overreacting? Ask me anything. Ask Reddit. Mildly infuriating. Am I the asshole? All that stuff. And it's like, am I the asshole when my neighbor, aims a rifle at me every morning when I go to work, and I tell him to stop? Like, yeah, no, you're not. Okay, it's just people looking for validation, people looking for attention, mostly on that. It's like they need the validation, they need the attention, they want to be like a celebrity, so they post something on social media and it gets 4,000 upvotes or 40,000 upvotes, and they get so excited, like, oh, everyone loves me, yay! That is what Reddit is. And you can't make money off of upvotes. You can't make. I think there was a time when you could somehow there was some gray market where you could make money off the awards that were given to you on Reddit, and I had a couple awards because I used to comment on some things and whatever, and then they went away from the awards, so now it's just upvotes, and it's just dopamine and people seeking attention and validation because there's no money that can be made from it. You can make money from Twitter now, not a lot of money, or X, whatever. Hey, we don't know if it's called Twitter X, haha. But there is like a financial return you get if you really build like an X account. Not a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, if you made $400 off of your X account in a given year, that's a pretty good chunk of change, but you can't make any money off of Reddit. So they're just idiots. It's just people, the memes on there, you wouldn't believe. If you go to r/dank memes or r/memes, 10, 15-year-old memes on there still. 10-year-old memes. Goth mommy. Oh, goth mommy memes. Like what it's once again, you would think, these would have to be middle schoolers or something. No, these are adults, people in their late 20s and their 30s, talking about goth girls, talking about dom mommies or something with goths, and that's what and these are adult people with positions in society. You might just think, these are people living in their mom's basement. That's what all the old people say about people online. But no, that's so unrealistic. That's wishful thinking. Anytime you disagree with someone on the internet, it's like, he must be living in his mom's basement. He must be on food stamps. He must be eating Twinkies all day. Well, no, that's wishful thinking. These are people who have jobs and careers. They just have a completely different mindset as me, apparently, and sense of humor. I just, memes when I was 15, 16 years old that I didn't think was funny, and I'm going on r/dank memes, I'm like, did I sort by like a calendar year here? Because this is a meme that was posted 2 days ago, and it looks like it's from 2014, 2015. And it's always like there's the one meme, anytime a meme's old, and I knew a meme was old when I was in high school, when you would walk into like your first day in a class, like chemistry or something, or biology or whatever, and there'd be like memes on the wall referencing like neutrons or something, or zygotes or whatever, and it'd be like the guy from Office Space, like Lombard, the middle manager guy. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to do homework on Saturday. That's like a meme from like 2003 or 2004, but that's when a meme's old, when teachers are starting to use that. And I think I know, of course I'm not in high school anymore, that was 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. Is when the one of the memes that I know is on high school walls all across the country right now is the guy checking out the chick when he already has his girlfriend under his arm, and he's checking out the chick. That's a big one. And you go on r/dank memes, r/memes, and that's all over the place still. I'm like, dude, we're getting into 2026 here. Let's be creative for once in our lives. Or people on Reddit and people always talk about how people on YouTube Shorts are 6 or 7 months behind people on Instagram or X. But people on Reddit might be 10 years behind. I mean, in 10 years, they could be talking about the Tuah girl, and they think it's recent news. But millennials love the Tuah girl, and she's grown on me a little bit over time, even though she tried to do the rug pull scam with her cryptocurrency, but that's so common now. Every celebrity's done it, She just jumped on the bandwagon, But she has grown on me. But when that thing happened, millennials thought the Tuah chick was the funniest thing ever. I don't really know why. They had all these, like, might have been a BuzzFeed or BuzzFeed adjacent article that was like 30 Tuah memes that will make you, roll on the floor laughing or whatever in the fetal position. And it was like Tuah Matata. It was like a Lion King spin on Tuah. Now, I would have thought that was funny when I was 15. but I'm not 15 years old anymore. Okay, so that wasn't funny at all. What we need to talk about is the Tuah girl went on Bill Maher's show. That is like the most weirdest thing ever. Like, don't you think that's strange? Like, she entered a world that, like, she wasn't supposed to be in. You know? Like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, it's like almost like one of the dream states in like a David Lynch film. You know? So, like, I mean, yeah, because the Tuah girl had all those, the people who came on her podcast. She had, you know, adult film stars on there and just a bunch of idiots. But she goes on Bill Maher and she looks like she's scared. She looks so nervous. Like, so just like, I don't know, just anxiety ridden. But I'm just going off on a tangent about the Tuah girl. But yeah, the millennials loved Tuah. They loved the Coldplay concert affair, which got on my nerves too. And they got into, women love to get into like all the drama and the details and like, oh, he hadn't talked to his wife in 3 months and they were already, you know, starting the divorce stuff, and she actually posted on her Instagram and she hasn't, you know, she might have been cheating on someone else, and it's just like, I don't know why we get into this. Is just a random person. And first of all, the guy's an idiot. First of all, the guy's cheating on his wife. He's an idiot. Okay? Number two, he sues Chris Martin in Coldplay. He's an idiot. So that's what, okay, it's a great lesson that even being the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you put all this work in. You have all the degrees, you put 100-hour work weeks in, you save your money, whatever, you climb the corporate ladders, everything, networking. You do all that. And then all of a sudden you're in your 50s or 60s and you're at a Coldplay concert at the Sphere in Vegas, and you get caught cheating on your wife, and your ego is so broken and you're so embarrassed that you have to go cry to a lawyer and sue the band and sue Chris Martin for what? For existing, for making really good music, so you went to their show, or your company went to their show. And it's an adult human being that made that decision to sue them. Think about that. A father. It's a crazy world we live in, man. It really is. But this nicotine thing pissed me off so much, how addicted I am to this. I was going through about 2 packs of cigarettes worth of nicotine per day. So about 1 vape per day. One of the pineapple ice fume ultras every single day on average. Maybe I go through, 3/4 of one each day, whatever. But they never told us about that growing up, because they didn't understand that the e-cigarette vape craze was going to hit. Of course, in public schools, all of our health textbooks were from the 90s. So they just said, like, don't let your older brother give you a cigarette. Don't let your older sister give you a cigarette. That kind of thing. Don't let them give you a Camel. And it'd be like, those books we used to read this old textbooks. And everyone did, every generation of American did, and probably all across the world. But I remember reading so many textbooks about how, like, the current events was like the AIDS epidemic was happening, and like Bill Clinton was signing executive orders and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's like 2010. What are you talking about, President Bill Clinton? It's weird. It's just, and so of course they didn't prepare me for the nicotine